The Colorado Civil Rights Commission has come under the spotlight most recently by the Supreme Court, which ruled in June that it showed, quote, clear and impermissible hostility toward Colorado baker Jack Phillips. The High Court ruled narrowly in favor of Phillips. He argued that he did not discriminate when he refused to bake a gay wedding cake after the commission said he did. Now Phillips is tangling with the commission yet again. It says he discriminated against a customer who wanted him to bake a transgender cake. That cake was ordered to celebrate a gender transition. Here's our interview on this story. And Jenna Ellis with the Dr. Dobson Family Policy Institute is with us to talk more about what is happening with Phillips and with the Colorado Civil Rights Commission. Welcome, Jenna. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Jack Phillips has been in the news again recently for what seems to be the exact same issue that we thought the Supreme Court decided last June. What's going on?
Yeah, and so the Supreme Court, as you mentioned, did decide this very narrowly, and it was really that the 7 justices talked about the Civil Rights Commission being overtly hostile to the baker. And what a lot of the evangelical community said about that particular case was that, well, now the Civil Rights Commission just won't be as open and overtly hostile, but they'll still really be fundamentally saying, Jack Phillips, you have to bake the cake. And so what happened in this case is that another individual who's actually an attorney in Colorado walked into his shop the very same day that the Supreme Court granted hearing of the initial case and asked for that transgender cake to have a pink frosting with the blue interior to celebrate a gender transition. Phillips again politely declined, saying that that went against his sincerely held beliefs. And now the same Colorado Civil Rights Commission, going against the Supreme Court case, has found probable cause to say, yes, you are guilty of violating Colorado's Anti-Discrimination Act. So Jack Phillips is finding himself in the exact same position because this is an overtly hostile commission to religious liberty.
What is the Colorado Civil Rights Commission, and how come this case isn't in an actual court?
And that's a great question, because what people need to realize that is going on in Colorado is that the Colorado Civil Rights Commission is not a court of law. This is not where you have a judge and a jury and actual due process. This is a regulatory agency that falls under the Colorado law there, that they are a commission that is just appointed by the governor. These are commissioners that don't have to even be attorneys. And what they're doing is making findings of fact and conclusions of law outside of due process. And so Phillips can't opt out of this commission. He doesn't have the right to a jury. He doesn't have the right to anything but what these commissioners are going to find against him. What's interesting is that the only thing that they have to do to be appointed as a commissioner is to be part of a traditionally discriminated class, but there's no requirement for diversity, meaning that a majority of the commissioners can affiliate with a sexual orientation to get onto that commission, which is what's happening in Colorado. So you basically have a modern day star chamber that is very pro LGBT agenda, and they're very anti sincerely held religious beliefs and free exercise. And so what's happening in Colorado is that we have this alternative method of dispute resolution that doesn't present an opportunity for due process in court.
Jenna, for the faith-based community who have supported Jack throughout this entire process, what would you encourage families to do to get involved or to help?
Well, we definitely need to speak out. And for those in Colorado specifically, like myself and the James Dobson Family Institute, we need to make sure that our legislators are very aware of this and will hopefully put legislation to cure this problem with the Civil Rights Commission under the Department of Regulatory Agencies. That's the location I couldn't recall before. And we also, as a community and as a nationwide faith-based community, and even everyone who understands what the First Amendment is all about, that it's protecting and preserving everyone's opportunity for free exercise of religion and free speech. We need to make sure that our voices are heard. We need to be speaking out, engaging on this issue, and also talk to Alliance Defending Freedom, support that ministry. They're taking very good care of Jack Phillips and making sure to protect these fundamental freedoms in court. And you can also learn more at the DobsonFamilyInstitute.com and the work that we're doing in the Policy Center. Make sure to pray, engage, and vote in November.
All right, Jenna, thanks so much. We appreciate your insights.
Thank you.